Good morning, everybody. Drop a voicemail for All Rise, 804-592-6160, baby. You know the deal.
Take a trip vacation. You deserve a day. You deserve a day off. Working for too long, gotta keep back. Turn my cell phone off, wait till I get back. Ooh, yeah, this that. Living my life with no regrets. So I title, pull up on me. We did chillin'. At the spot. What time? Anytime. Pull up on me. We the coolin'. The chill spot. What time? Party time. I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up. Meet me at the spot. Up all night till the sunrise. Pop back cool. Get ready for the ride. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good?
Good morning, everybody. What is going on? And welcome to All Rise. I don't have today. Typically, I play Simply Ravishing. I don't got time for Simply Ravishing today, man. We got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to discuss today when it comes to our New York Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles. We win game one, Johnny, but it was an interesting game, to say the least. There was quite a bit going on in this game.
Yeah, a lot going on. Most important part, got the win. Got to start beating these guys.
Facts.
They're our biggest division rival. Really loaded lineup. Pitching's pretty good. They got our guy, Corbin Burns, who we were kind of talking about all offseason. So they're the number one target, and we got to start beating these guys after that first series that we had with them earlier this year. So that's most important. Got a little chippy there with Judge getting a hit. Got some Soto stuff running the bases. Orioles fans are losing their minds on Twitter. So a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I definitely want to get into this stuff. No doubt about it. Because the first and foremost thing that I've also seen on Twitter is, look, fans are going to overreact. You know, when it's a rivalry type game, you're going to have fans overreacting on both sides. But one of the biggest overreactions that I found yesterday was the Westberg play in the first inning. I believe it was the first inning, I want to say, with Soto. And this idea that Orioles fans believe that Juan Soto is this dirty player that was intentionally running into Jordan Westberg. Guys, when you watch this play, again, Johnny had a tweet about this, and I'm happy he felt the same way as I did. Because I'm like, I wanted to talk about this morning, but I'm going to pull the play up real quick so everybody can see it together. So we're not bullshitting nobody. Here's the play right here. So Stan's going to hit a slow roller, a chopper. Here it is. Westberg has to charge into the runner. Am I missing something here, Johnny?
I mean, getting a second look here. It looks like Soto is at first attempting to get out of the way of the ball. He doesn't want to get hit by the ball because then he's automatic out. There might have been a little bit of gamesmanship there, slowing down a little bit, trying to stay in front of the ball, maybe to get in front of the fielder, and maybe he bobbles there or something. But I mean, things happen so fast. Getting another look at it here, I mean, there's just really nothing there as an Orioles fan to see that and think it's a dirty play. Anyone saying it is and really trying to play that whole narrative, it's an absolute stretch.
And here's the crazy thing.
And they're really reaching for something there if you think that is a intentional dirty play to hurt that infielder.
And before I say this, I just want to say I don't disrespect, like I don't, dislike Brendan Hyde at all. I think Brendan Hyde seems to be a stand-up guy. He doesn't come across as a manager who you dislike when you watch him. He said, yeah, that's a strange play. You don't see that a ton.
Yes,
a routine ground ball. He just ran into him. I don't know. That is not true. That is not what happened.
Yeah. That's a manager defending these guys. I mean, I'm sure they were all fired up in there and thought it was intentional. Did the infielder get hurt? Is that what I read on Twitter?
So Westberg left with a hip injury. Apparently his hip was tight after it.
I mean, it's a slow chopper. It looked like Soto at first slowed down a little bit as the ball was kind of getting to the infielder. It's just, no matter how many times you look at it, there's just no evidence of a dirty play that was made to purposely hurt the infielder or create any type of situation like that. So for the manager to go out on a limb like that, for the Orioles fans to be like, oh, Judge deserves to get drilled because of how slow around the bases. Like, what are you watching? Like, tell me you're a casual without telling me you're a casual.
Facts.
Like, tell me you don't know ball without telling me you don't know ball. Like, that's just a ridiculous statement to say that Judge deserves to get drilled after seeing that play with Soto running the bases. So it's a much ado about nothing. It's a lot of yapping from that fan base over there, which is pretty on par with what we see with the Maryland sports blog. I said it. But I mean, it's just a lot of chirping. It's just a lot of BS that is pretty unfounded. It's just, there's just nothing really there to stretch this into, oh, Soto's a dirty player and trying to intentionally hurt guys on the Orioles. So bunch of crybabies.
No doubt about it. And look, man, I did see some Orioles fans come out and say, if you believe that Soto was looking to do an Albert Bell here, you're wrong.
Oh, stop.
No, they said it. There was a couple of Orioles fans out there that I read that were like, that wasn't what was happening. It's obvious he didn't mean to do that. So you did have some logical Oriole fans out there simply saying, this was not intentional. This was obviously not something. Juan Soto, of all people, not the biggest guy on the planet, is going to sit there and go, I'm just going to charge this dude. And if that was the case and there was intent there, why would he slow down? Why not just say, I didn't see him, and I fucking ran his ass over. I barreled into him.
Right.
I didn't see him.
He can't get hit by the ball, which is why he slowed down. If the ball hits you, you're out. So
which you could literally see on the replay.
Right. And if you see it any other way, you have an agenda. Like, that's just the bottom line. The infielders coming in to get the ball. Soto slowed down a little bit. They ran into each other as baseball. I mean,
and here's another thing. So again, I don't want Orioles fans to be in here thinking like, all these guys are just attacking us. No. There's some of you that were logical. Here's one right here. Orioles fans' thoughts at O's fans' thoughts. This is the moment basically this play happened. The idea that Soto intentionally ran into Westberg, which some people actually believe is so outrageous considering it was called as interference and it could have cost the team runs. Bingo.
Yeah, that's what a logical person who watches baseball thinks. That's what everyone should think. The people coming out and saying this was some dirty play, some intentional injury kind of play from Soto to the Orioles players, it's just stupid. Let's just be real. It's just what dumb.
We got a super chat from the one and only Mr. Rod Thompson.
Thank you for being a friend.
The man.
He said, good morning. What's the over-under on innings pitched today for Cole? We're going to get into that a little later. And question for Johnny, what did you get your dad, Brian Cashman, for Father's Day?
Well, we know he's a little follically challenged, so I got him a hairpiece. I got him some inserts for his shoes to make him a little taller. And, just trying to hype up my man over there. That's what I did.
Let me tell you something. If Brian Cashman does an interview towards the deadline with a rug on his head, I'm fucking done, bro. I would be absolutely done right there in the spot. That's it. Oh, by the way, too, guys, thank you, everybody. We literally just now hit 28,400
Let's
on
go.
the subbies. So appreciate you guys. Thank you
Stack
so
it
much,
up.
everybody. Well, let's get into the big story of the day, of yesterday's game, Aaron Judge. So you rarely see Aaron Judge pissed in a game. Here's the hit by pitch from Suarez right here. And this is an up and in pitch. I, for one, maybe you disagree with me. I don't believe it was intentional. I don't think they were throwing at Aaron Judge here. I think there's a possibility. I don't think you could be wrong in saying it was. A couple of people in the chat were saying there's no real way to know either way, but maybe it was a brushback pitch because of what happened to Westberg, and it went, and it hits Judge. What are your thoughts on that play? Judge was visibly pissed. Yeah, I thought he was coming out directly to the mound to start shit at first. I was like, oh shit, that's usually not Aaron Judge. But
Right.
what do you think about that play? What was your initial thought when it happened?
I haven't really come out strongly on this on Twitter for a reason. As a guy who has thrown a billion innings and would routinely throw inside and hit guys on accident, that's all that this is. Like,
That's what I thought.
it's a 1-2 count. The catcher is starting to set up inside. It gets away from him. And if you remember when Spider Tack and all that stuff is getting taken away from these pitchers, Gerrit Cole, Glass, now all these guys were talking about, well, you're gonna make the ball more slick. This is gonna be a situation where the ball's gonna get away from us sometimes, and guys are gonna get hit.
Right.
And sometimes it happens. You saw Mookie Betts get drilled in the wrist the other day. You saw Judge get hit yesterday on a 2-strike count. It's just one of those things. It's part of the game. It's unfortunate. You have to throw these guys inside. You have to throw Judge inside. You have to throw Stanton inside. You have to throw Soto inside, because you can't have them leaning out over the plate and crushing anything you throw middle away. You got to get them off the plate a little bit. So I'm not saying this was an intentional throw at his head to brush him back, or trying to throw at his hand to brush him back. So I don't think that's what it was. I think he was trying to go up and in and got away from him. The timing of it is a little unfortunate with the Soto thing, and you've got a lot of Orioles fans on Twitter chirping about it, saying, "Oh, well, this is what Judge gets for Soto running the bases, blah blah blah." This is just Orioles fans connecting the dots on two things that are completely unrelated that were accidents. So if you're really trying to stir up an agenda here, Mr. Maryland Sports Blog, I'm gonna say your name again. If you're really trying to stir up an agenda from two things that were unfortunate, that were part of the game, Judge getting hit by a pitch is part of the game. Soto slowing down in front of the ball, fielder running into him, that's part of the game too. If you're trying to connect these two things into some type of conspiracy theory to say that there's some intent on either side, I regret to inform you that you are wrong. So tough to see Judge get hit in the hand there. Obviously, after seeing Mookie get hit and miss time with fracture, it's scary.
Yeah.
But luckily, it sounds like the X-rays are good, and he's going to be good to go. He wants to play today. I don't know if Boone's going to let him, but we dodged a huge bullet there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So when the original play happened, and by the way, Aaron Judge did talk after the game, and he said that the Orioles do like to pitch him inside. And
Which they should.
He didn't exactly. And that's let's be honest, folks, that is baseball. We talk about it, right? We said it. How many years were we saying that Devers needs to be brushed off the plate, or he's too comfortable up there? Aaron Judge has beat the shit out of the Orioles for years.
Yeah.
For years. They're probably trying to figure out a way, what's the game plan on this guy? Pitch him a little inside maybe, whatever it may be. But Judge did sit there and say, yeah, of course I was pissed, but let's be honest, guys. You get hit with a fastball up and in on your hand, and that shit hurts.
Of course, Judge is going to be mad. Of course, he's going to be pissed off about it, as he should be. I mean,
facts.
Nobody likes to get hit. It is what it is, especially when it's coming up and in. As a major league pitcher, you should have more control. When it comes to hitting your spots, especially with a fastball, it should be the pitch that you can control the best. But the ball is slick. They're not able to use sticky stuff anymore. I'm not blaming that, but you're going to see up and in pitches get away from guys more often than maybe previously in the past when they were allowed to use the hush kind of sticky stuff, sunscreen, hair gel. I mean, there's a lot of different things guys used to use to get a better grip on the ball. You can't do that anymore. So you're going to see some fastballs get away inside, get away from guys inside to big, strong hitters that need pitched inside.
Right.
One of the things that when I started playing in junior college, a little bit higher level than high school, varsity, all that kind of stuff, pitching coaches take you in day one and they say the difference between where you just came from and what you're going to have to do here is you have to effectively pitch inside to these hitters.
Right.
You can't be leaving stuff middle, and staying away to every hitter because they're going to lean out over the plate and they're going to smoke anything you throw. You got to be able to hit the inside corner of the strike zone. You got to be able to pitch inside effectively. And that's no different in the major leagues. This is why I always
Yep.
harp on Nestor being able to pitch inside to righties because you can't
Right.
have guys leaning out over the plate and smoking everything you throw. So Judge talking about getting pitched inside, that's what the Orioles do. That's what everyone needs to do to Aaron Judge. He's Aaron Judge. He's got those big,
Yeah.
strong, long arms. He wants to get those arms extended and smoke something the other way, dead center. So how do you kind of neutralize that power? You pitch him inside and you make him kind of have to pull his hands in and not be able to get extended.
Facts.
This is pitching 101. This is attacking a great hitter 101. This is basic stuff. So I'm not surprised that Judge is pissed off, but they're going to have to pitch him inside. That's just what they're going to have to do. It's unfortunate. It wasn't intentional. Hopefully no other guys get hit because we can't afford to have more guys hurt,
Right.
especially with our biggest backup plan like Dominguez being hurt as well. So it is what it is. Hopefully this all gets swept under the rug and we can all play baseball today and focus on winning a game and Gerrit Cole doing his job without having to worry about a brawl or someone else getting hit in the hand.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And look, man, at the end of the day, we all know this about Aaron Judge. Like Johnny just said, you got to pitch Judge inside. Judge could be late on a fastball and hit it 400 feet to right field. So
Yeah.
if you try to beat him anywhere, you want to beat him inside. And that's all it was to me. Now, of course, later in the game, Gleyber Torres then gets hit. And at that point, I'm sitting there going, I again don't think this is intentional, but at some point, you got to kind of stick up for your guys here. And
Right.
a lot of people were calling for it in that moment. And I said, no, win the ball game. And then you back pocket something like that. I don't know if it's going to be something Gerrit Cole does tonight. If somebody gets knocked on their ass quick, I'm not saying you throw up and into anybody. I'm not saying you throw at somebody's head. I'm not saying you throw
Right.
behind somebody. I'm not saying you look to injure an Orioles player. I'm just simply saying you might have a situation where Cole says, let me give you a little bit of chin music, knock you down. Now we're even. Now let's play baseball. I
Right.
don't know if the Yankees would do that, but I honestly, personally, I could put this on record. I wouldn't be against that. I'm not
Right.
for hitting somebody, but I'm not against the Yankees brushing somebody off and going, all right, now we're
Yeah.
even. Don't do it to our guys.
100%. And there's a difference between brushing a guy back and sending a message and then throwing at some guy's head, like for a pitch that hit Judge that wasn't intentional.
Facts.
You don't want to lose sight of the fact that this is a series you have to win against a team that's right on your tail for the division. So
Yep.
I get the chippiness, I get the competitiveness, I get all the accidents going on. I call them accidents because the Soto thing and the pitch to Judge, none of those were intentional.
Facts. 100%. 100%.
But I understand the chippiness and I understand the passion and stuff like that, and that's what makes sports fun. But I think a lot of it is misguided, and I think people are really trying to stretch this thing into something it's not. So a comment from Casper DPS, Johnny, where you just chucking middle in high school, laughing my ass off, where you throwing 90. No, in high school you can get away with missing your spots more. You don't have to pound the inside corner on good hitters as often because depending on how good your stuff is and how good the players are in high school, they're 16-year-old kids. They're 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. So there's a lot of kids you can miss middle, or you can just stay away the whole game depending on your stuff, and you can just blow a bunch of kids away. When you get to the little higher levels, you got more polished hitters. You got guys who understand what they're doing better at the plate. And you got adults. You got 18, 19-year-olds, sometimes 20-year-old guys who are a lot different than a 14 or a 15-year-old guy. So depending on your stuff and how good you are, whatever, you can get away with missing in high school. Whereas when you start getting to the college level, you got guys that can hit mistakes. So you got to be able to pitch inside and you get guys off the plate middle away to keep them honest. But that's all they were doing with Judge last night. That's all that was happening. You have to pitch him inside. You have to effectively pitch him inside, especially with how well he can go oppo.
Yeah.
You don't want him sitting middle away and just punching something over the short porch. So it's unfortunate. Thank God he's healthy, and we'll see what Gerrit Cole does tonight and see if he responds.
Yeah, man. And look, you summed it up right there, right? These are arguably, I don't even know if it's an argument really. These are the two best teams in the American League. That's my opinion. That's been my opinion. The majority of us, that was our opinion in the offseason, that it's going to be the Yankees, Orioles back and forth, that however you see that finishing, that's one thing. But I think the majority of us believed that this would be a two-team race. It's the Yankees and the O's. And shit, I went even further than that. I said I think this is going to be a rivalry for years to come. I think these two are going to be clashing with each other for many, many years to come. They both got very good systems. A lot of young guys coming up. A lot of guys that are going to see each other for multiple years. And it's the heated rivalry. It's the heat of the game. It's the heat of the moment. This shit happens.
Right.
Will it shock me if you got a bench clearing situation this series? No, not at all. That's the way this series is shaping up to be. And of course, let's get right into that. We got a ton of voicemails from you all. So what I want to do is get through our topics and then leave a lot of the second half of the show up to you guys and your voicemails. So let's talk about Gerrit Cole. Gerrit Cole returns today. You know your pitching. You're big on your pitching. The Yankees get the ace back. What are you expecting the first start from Cole?
I'm expecting roughly 4-ish innings. Pitch count probably around 70-ish, 75. And I think that's fine. I think he can do enough early part of the game. Depending on how efficient he is, you might be able to squeeze 5 innings out of him. I think that'd be a best case scenario. I'm looking for fastball velocity and the sharpness and crispness on the slider. I know he's mixing the changeup in there, and he's got the overhand curveball and stuff like that. But he's going to navigate a tough lineup compared to the minor leaguers he was pitching against.
Facts.
Straight up, and they're throwing him straight in the deep end of the pool. You're going straight in there against one of the best teams in baseball, the tough division rival, and now a day after a lot of chippiness happens. So we know Cole's gonna be intense. He's gonna be prepared, he's gonna be ready, he's got his game plan, he's got his scouting report, he knows how to attack these guys. It's just gonna be, is there gonna be any signs of rust? Is there gonna be any type of that whole kind of thing where maybe he's a little off, maybe he walks a few guys? That's kind of what I'm looking for: his control, fastball velocity, and his slider break, the sharpness, the snap to it. Because with a forearm or elbow or whatever he was dealing with, that's going to be the thing is the velo on the heater and his slider bite. The slider puts a lot of stress on your elbow. So if he is 100%, he's out there feeling good and he's pumping 97, 98, and he's striking guys out with the slider, looks great, goes 5 innings, I'll be doing the happy dance over here by myself. So very excited to see what he's got. We got the ace back. It's going to be a tough challenge for him, but it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, and it's big for this rotation, man, getting Cole back in it.
Right.
Just seeing him for another club, knowing you're facing Gerrit Cole, that's always puts you at a disadvantage. So just having him back there every 5 days again, let's hope that Cole stays healthy, keeps taking the ball. But I'm expecting the same thing. We'll see what the pitch count actually is, but I just want to see sharpness. You know, I want to see a guy come back, look pretty sharp. Again, like you said, the velo. When we went to go watch him in Double-A, he started early in the game, sitting at about 94, 95, and then at the end of the game, he was like, "All right, let's see what I have in the tank," and he was sitting 97, 98.
That's great.
So I think it's all there. I think he feels very good. And like you said, he's getting thrown right back into the fire, and there's a storyline right now. There's kind of a narrative out there. So it makes this game even bigger than probably, what it is, but it's a big start for Cole to get back. Yesterday, we saw the first appearance of Ben Rice. Rice gets his first hit knocked out of the way. First play of the game, he goes all the way up the second base line to field a ground ball, which I thought was hilarious, to be honest with you, because there's probably a lot of nerves there also. But I've warned people this, and even before he came up, I told him, Dane tried to tell you guys and Los and everybody that covers the minor leagues, he hasn't done a ton of work at first base, and he's a better catcher than he is a first baseman. So that's why I thought TJ Rumfield would be the guy, because he's such a good defensive first baseman. But the Yankees probably go with ceiling in this situation, a guy that can maybe impact the baseball a little quicker at this level than TJ Rumfield could.
Right.
And you saw that first play, and there's probably also a lot of anxiety there. There's probably a lot of, I just want to get the couple of plays out the way and feel good about it. So whatever. Mistake at first base, no big deal. He does get his first base hit. According to what I was reading yesterday, he's probably not going to start tonight because of lefties pitching. So that was kind of the rumor, is that he'll play against righties and DJ LeMahieu will play against lefties. What were your initial thoughts on Rice yesterday?
It was great to see how excited he was. Apparently, he'd never even been in Yankee Stadium before. So,
Yeah,
I mean, there you go, kid. Go get him. You're starting at first base. Get acquainted with everyone. See how you feel. But he looked good when he smoked that single.
yep,
The miscue at first, it's kind of tough because he was playing a little bit in and he was playing off the bag,
yeah,
more towards the second base side. So it didn't when I took a second look at it, it didn't surprise me that he kind of ranged over to his right and got that because that's a situation where Nestor can come over and cover.
right.
So it was just a little bit of miscommunication, not very familiar with each other. Glaber was you could see Glaber coming in to get it, and he just kind of got cut off by Ben Rice there. But I mean, it is what it is. It was a play where he was aggressive. He went right after the ball and probably thought the pitcher was going to get over. Nestor looked upset because he didn't get over. And there was a little bit of
Yeah,
like, damn, I should have maybe gotten over there, or I didn't expect him to come over and cut that ball off. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's growing pains. It's going to
yep.
happen
It's
for
gonna
a young
happen.
player, but I'm excited about I mean, I'm not 1,000% super familiar with these minor league guys. I know we do a
Yeah,
really good job here, so I like to go on our different pages with the minor leagues and kind of look at video and see what they're talking about when a guy comes up. So it's very exciting to see a lefty bat there with power, kind of what we talked about with Wells when he came up. Um, it did look like he was hitting some lefties in the highlights too. So I
he
don't
did.
know.
Yeah, that hasn't been a bad split for him at all in the minor leagues.
Right. So I mean, I get the platoon, but I would like to see him kind of get his feet wet against some lefties, just so he's not like just strict platoon guy with DJ. Because I like Ben Rice's bat more than DJ's. So if we can get
I like almost
that,
any bat more than DJ right now,
yeah.
to be honest with you. Any bat. I
I
mean,
mean,
he did hit to DJ's credit. He actually hit two balls in the air yesterday, which was
yeah,
absolutely stunning.
the one to right center was a pretty good shot. So
Yeah.
hopefully that's a sign of things to come with him. I mean, he's played what, like 15, 16 games since he got back, maybe less, but it's going to take, especially for an old guy, it's going to take you some time to get that slow bat,
Yep.
that slow bat going
Around
against
quick enough. You
against
got to
some of this.
swivel them hips is what he has to
Yeah.
do.
God, he's so big and slow too, my God.
He is.
But
He's absolutely slow as ass. I
yeah,
saw
but
somebody in the chat ask what is Rice's natural position. Primarily catcher. Primarily catcher. And Gerrit Cole, he did throw to Gerrit Cole in the minors, and Cole praised him. Cole praised about, how good of a catcher he was. Speaking of catcher, really quick, I just want to shout out Agus Ramirez, who got promoted to AAA.
awesome.
We got the confirmation on that last night via Agus himself.
Awesome.
So, yeah, he is headed up to AAA already, guys. And like I said, I mean, there's a chance that you may see that bat in September now. If he's already in AAA and let's say he tears the cover off of the ball, you very well could see him in September getting some at-bats for the Yankees and may very well be at the September 14th event when we head over there at Yankee Stadium to watch. A Goose may be up there and closing in on a position because, a lot of people feel like the Yankees catcher situation is kind of locked in and set. I don't know about that too much. I do think there's still some options there, especially if this kid, he's 22 years old in AAA. He's 22, and he's putting up monster numbers at AA. I expect him to go to AAA and put up some very, very big numbers there too. So Yankees are going to see what they have over there. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, the bat looks fantastic. And from some of the highlights I've seen, when he does that over the head kind of thing with the bat out in his backswing,
Yeah,
it
the little
reminds me
helicopter.
a lot of Gary Sanchez.
Yep.
So if he can be a much more competent version of of Gary, that would be fantastic.
Well,
But I'm
one
excited.
of the best things too about him though is one, he has an absolute cannon for an arm, and two, I mean, this is AA, and AA is, a lot of people believe AA is the much tougher league than AAA because there's a lot
Right.
of journeymen in AAA
Right.
and all that. But I think one of the things that a lot of people don't know about him is he doesn't swing and miss. He doesn't strike out a lot. He's not a strikeout guy, which is pretty damn impressive when you got that type of power.
Yeah.
So
It's
there's a lot to like here.
it's exciting. I mean, I think they really like Trevino's kind of leadership. He's hitting a little bit this year.
Yeah.
He's a quote unquote frame god. So I don't think there's going to be much moving from him in that position. The only
Yeah.
downside is his arm right now. It's for some reason the ball is
Ass.
dying. The ball is dying before it gets to second base, and it was a big problem in Boston, which is concerning. Um, And I mean, Austin Wells, he just needs more consistent at bats. And he smoked the ball
Yep.
down the line yesterday. We know the kind of power he has. So it's going to be a very competitive catcher's room, I guess you can say. But yeah, it's great to have an option like August down there smoking balls left and right in Double A, which has, like you said, some of the best talent in the minor leagues. So it's a
Yep.
very, if something happens to one of these catchers, you can see him getting a call right away. So it's nice to have some reinforcements down there.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So let's get into voicemails. Again, guys, you guys have absolutely loaded us up. We have a ton. So I'm going to get to as many of these as we can. But let us go ahead and get started. All right. Hey.
Hey, Pete, Macho King in the house.
man.
How you doing? To the underground.
My
The
guy.
Yankees pulled one out yesterday as Nestor was nasty, and we hit enough to win, but leaving 10 men on base is unacceptable. And DJ LeWest upstage should be numbered on this team, yeah. I spoke to my pops on Father's Day, and I asked him if Judge reminded him of Mickey Mantle, and he said, oh, yeah. Except Mantle could switch hit, but otherwise Judge was in that class with the Mick. That's how important Judge is to the Yankees. Yeah. And you know the ballless Orioles are desperate when they're pitching us inside and hitting Judge like that. He got me past the boiling point, and I was ready to start dropping elbows on my TV, but Pete was the voice of reason, yeah. And he said, not yet, we'll have our day against those unscrupulous upstarts, yeah. Which reminds me of a story of two bulls standing on top of a mountain. The younger one says to the older one, hey, Pop, let's run down there and bang one of them cows, yeah. And the old one says, no, son, let's walk down and bang them all, dig it. Here ended the lesson. Ooh, yeah.
Unmatched
Knock
energy from
it
that
out.
man.
Yeah, there's only one. There's only one. There's only one Macho King, man. You know, often, what do they say? What do they say? Often imitated, never something, whatever the hell the saying is.
Something like that.
Something
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, that saying is for Macho. You can imitate him all day, but you could never be the guy, all right? You could never be
him.
the guy.
He's him.
He is him. Macho is indeed him.
He is
all right?
Himothy.
He is Himothy. As old Sarge says, the man never disappoints. You better believe that. Okay, yeah, there it is. Duplicated. Thank you, guys. That's
There you
the
go.
actual word, okay? All right, smacky to likey, folks.
The chat
Hit the
always
thumbs up.
comes through.
They
Always
help
comes
me.
through. Come
They
on.
help me out. Sometimes,
over here-
I.
They're over here dropping news on guys getting called up. They're over here
They're good.
finishing our sentences, man. Who's got a better chat than this?
Nobody. Let's get to the next one,
Hey,
folks.
Pete, Tom Malay here. Thank God Aaron Judge is okay, as we know, as we
Okay.
believe, and hopefully he's in the lineup tonight. But even if they give him the night off, that's okay, just to get his bearings back. But other than that, I think we might have dodged the bullet because the X-rays were negative. But yeah, it was a good win last night. It was hard to really enjoy it because we didn't know the fate of Aaron Judge. But now that we know that all the tests were negative, we should be okay. But we won't know until he really gets in there and bat and tries to throw the ball. But yeah, let's all have a good day. And Gerrit Cole on the mound tonight. And let's all have a good night and go beat the Orioles. Have a good day, Pete.
Go.
Go Yankees.
Facts, Kyle Malay, no doubt about it. Also, some additional news for all you guys. You guys have heard me talk a lot about Jack Neely. He's also promoted to AAA. So he has been the closer in AA, has absolutely nasty stuff, two-pitch pitcher, but both plus. Is a swing and miss guy, which the Yankees don't really have in their bullpen. The Yankees don't have a real swing and miss guy, put you away, high strikeout numbers. So Neely's a guy that you're going to see at some point this year. He goes up to AAA now, going to put those batters away up there, and then you're going to probably see him. It wouldn't shock me if you see Neely in July at some point. That's my prediction. He's going to be an arm they have to utilize and could be a late inning guy for the Yankees. So more of that, the better. We need it. quick idea on this one, or quick question for you, Johnny. Do you think Aaron Judge yesterday said, he told Boone he wants to be in the lineup? There's apparently no break. There's no fracture of what we know. I guess you got to see how the hand feels today, if it's still very swollen. What do you think? You think Judge is in there? I would just love to see him in there tonight. I think that would be huge for the Yankees.
And I mean, he's a great competitor. This is a big series against, like we said over and over, a team that's right on our ass, a team that we're going to be battling all year for this division. So if he wants to play, if he's taking swings, if he's doing baseball activities and it feels good and he doesn't look like he's favoring it at all, send him out there. I mean, this is the culture that Juan Soto has kind of brought to this team. If you can play. And it seems like Judge wants to kind of follow that whole kind of mantra. So if he's good, if he can perform, if he's not favoring it, if there's no hesitation from how he's holding the bat, or if he looks weird when he's swinging, because we don't want a weird swing favoring his wrist or his hand or something, then he strings an oblique or something. So that's kind of something you want to prevent. So if he feels fine, if he can go full speed, if he's taking full powerful swings off the high velocity machine down there in the cage, send him out there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The Scotto with the super chat says, "It is nice to be away from the ledge. Good God." Yeah, man. I was very, very concerned. So the minute it happened, my initial reaction was there's got to be something wrong, because one thing about Aaron Judge doesn't typically come out of a game.
Right.
And he didn't seem like there was much argument there. Yeah, he completed the base paths. He ran around. He ended up scoring that inning. But even when he went in the dugout, he was favoring not, touching anybody with that hand. So he immediately went in the tunnel afterwards, probably got treatment on it, did what they had to do. But I hope he's back out. I think it means a lot if he's back out there today. I really do. I think it means a lot. One, it means that he's obviously feeling good enough to be out there. But two, I think Aaron Judge wants to get some damage done against the Baltimore Orioles. I mean, I think that's the main thing. I think Judge wants to get some damage done.
He's one of the best in the world for a reason. He's a huge competitor. I mean, these guys don't want to miss these games. Which is why Soto was so upset when he missed the Dodgers series too, because you could tell like this is a marquee matchup. This is national TV, all three of these games. This is huge implications on a potential blah blah blah. So these are the games you circle on the calendar before the season and say these are the ones we got to do damage in. These are the ones we got to show up in. So he wants to be in there today, and I think if he's not favoring anything, he needs to be in there for this team. And like you've heard from the team in the recent days about Judge's leadership and him being the captain and stuff like that, they kind of go as he goes. So it would kind of be a little bit of a hit to the I don't know, the energy of the club, I guess you could say, or the confidence when your leader is out after getting drilled in the hand. So it would signify a lot tonight if Judge was out there after getting hit, leading the charge, out there ready to do damage. Showing that he's okay, being that guy, being the leader. So it's if he's not favoring anything, put him out there. Don't give him the auto day off after getting hit in the hand like Boone likes to do for some guys.
Yeah. Not for Judge. I agree. That's not a thing you do with Judge. I feel like if Judge is telling you I'm good, he's good. Put him out there.
And you got to see it too, because these guys all want to play and they're going to tell you they're good. So let's get in the cage. Let's work on it. Let's make sure you're not favoring anything. Let's make sure you can grip the bat properly. You're taking full swings. That's what they got to look for, because Judge is going to tell him he's good. All these guys say they're good, and then when they're not, because you want to play, you're a competitor. Got to get him in the cage. Got to get him working. Got to get him catching the ball. Got to get him doing stuff, and make sure he's 1,000% healthy and not favoring it before he played. So I'll be interested to see if it happens. If he is out there, then he's got a lot more pull than we think with Boone. Yep. So fingers crossed.
Bro, I tell you what, we talk about Aaron Boone, and again, there is nobody out there that discusses Aaron Boone the way me and Johnny does, and that came at Boone the way me and Johnny does. No way in hell, there's nobody out there. I thought it was pretty damn epic to see Boone just come out of nowhere and be back on the bench last night after
it was
all
cool.
That stuff happened. I gotta give him. I gave him love for it. I'm like, look, man. Maybe that was the plan all along. It probably was. If he finished up early, what the hell is the guy going to do? He went to go do his thing. He came back to the stadium.
Right.
With everything that was happening, Judge leaving, and all of a sudden you see Boone back on the bench talking to his guys, I'm like, I got to give him credit, man. That was like a little hat tip. I was like, that's the Boone I want to see. I liked it. I liked it. So
Yeah, he made a point to show up and make his face be seen and let the guys in the clubhouse know that he's there for them.
yeah,
So in
good.
a tough series against a good
Yep.
team. So it was cool to see for sure.
No doubt about it. Let's go ahead and get to the next voicemail. Here we go, baby.
Hey, what's going on, Pete? God bless you, my brother. God bless
Yo.
everyone in the chat. In Jesus' name, it's truth always. I want to repeat something that I was saying before last week.
Okay.
The last couple of days ago, actually. That we talked about Clay Holmes. Brother, we definitely need some bullpen help now. Remember before I said we're going to see what he does against Baltimore. Brother, just imagine if this was a World Series. One of those situations. This dude cannot handle pressure, man. I know, thank God we put a 4 spot up there. If it wasn't for that 4 spot, we would have lost. Because Clay Holmes, definitely, we need some bullpen help. But thank God for that news. I saw the video you dropped about Aaron Judge being, look like he should be able to play today. I think so. Type of player he is. He's like a Derek Jeter type, but just with power. I believe that we can still make it happen. We can still beat Baltimore. We're doing it right now. My brother, God bless everyone. I just want to hear your take on that Clay Holmes situation. We definitely need some bullpen help. Take care, brother. Peace. In Jesus' name.
Look, man, I'll talk about it. Look, one, I think everybody knows the Yankees need bullpen help. I think we all know that. Right now, they don't have much. Look, Michael Tonkin has been like a godsend for the New York Yankees. Yeah. I mean, he has been, you talk about when you look back at a year, let's say for an example, in a few months, we're looking back going, damn, how did the Yankees win a World Series? Michael Tonkin's a part of that story. I mean, even if he doesn't last the rest of the year, he's a part of that story. He's getting the Yankees through a tough time. And really, like it sounds crazy to say at times, but these guys are difference makers when you look back on a season. A guy like Michael Tonkin has meant a lot. But speaking about regarding Clay Holmes, obviously, again, like I said, I think Neely's going to be up. There's a lot of guys in that system that could come up and help. They don't really have any lefties in the system, so they'll figure out what they do there. But what do you say about Clay Holmes? I mean, you got people out there, and I said this last night because it got me aggravated. Stop the bullshit about taking little sample sizes and comparing this guy to Mariano Rivera. Stop doing stupid shit like that. And honestly, you know what it does, and I've said this many times before, it shows your lack of education about baseball. It truly does show your lack of knowledge about the game when you take a 2-month sample size and go, well, look, during this time frame, who gives a shit? I could do that with anybody. I could do that with Dellin Betances. That might be one of the most dominating relief pitchers in Yankee history for 2 years.
I love Dellin.
Not 2 months, 2 years. So stop the madness. Look, nobody dislikes Clay Holmes. I've argued with people in the
Seems
chat.
like a nice guy.
Look, but he's also a very good relief pitcher. We all agree with that. Clay Holmes is a good reliever. The problem is a lot of people just don't trust him as a closer. They don't feel comfortable with him as a closer. There's nothing wrong with that. For people to try to prove that point by comparing him to not only the greatest closer of all time, one of the greatest pitchers of all time, per legends like Pedro Martinez, it's ridiculous. To say you're concerned when he comes in a close game, you got a right to be. Am I wrong? Am I missing something here about
absolutely.
this guy?
Absolutely. And I just pulled up his last 15 games. His last 13.2 innings pitched. He's given up 18 hits.
How many
This
walks?
is the closer. 5 walks, but his ERA is 5.27 in his last 15.
There you go.
Does that sound like a lockdown closer to you? And he's 13.2 innings pitched, only has 9 strikeouts. So that's far under a strikeout per inning. So he's giving up he's giving up more hits per inning and he's striking out less than a strikeout per inning. That's not good. A closer needs to miss bats. A closer needs to have that electric come in, slam the door shut, overpower hitters, and seal the deal. And he's not doing that. And you have every right to criticize him or be concerned about it. Certain other folks who we won't give the time of day to by dropping their names on here will take out the Excel spreadsheet and find a million different ways to categorize a guy as an all-time great. but that's just not what this guy is. Like you
Yep.
said, good reliever, good stuff, bowling ball, 98-mile-an-hour sinker, the slider, breaking ball, whatever the hell it is, sometimes looks pretty good. But Cardiac Clay came to be for a reason. The
Facts.
guy he gave up a knock and then he gave a piss rod down the line to make it 4-2. Thankfully, we tacked on a few insurance runs because if that was a 2-2 game, we fucked. Like to be
Yeah.
straight up, like the guy came in, he didn't look great. He gave up a smoked homer to Santander, and his numbers are not good. His WHIP is almost 1.7 in his last 15 games. That's
Yep.
not a closer.
It's
That's
been a
not a
mess.
closer.
And
So
it's
it's
one of the scary things too about Clay Holmes is he does have a track record of being more of a first half pitcher than a second half pitcher. A lot of times tails off. So going back to 2022, post All-Star ERA 4.84 compared to under a 2 in the first half. 2023 going back to last year, 3.71 in the second half, 2.23 in the first half. And again, if anybody, yeah, Clay Holmes got off to a great start. Can a sinker baller, a guy that throws 97, 98, be a good closer? Yeah, I think it's possible. The problem is he just doesn't miss bats, though. He doesn't have a secondary pitch good enough. He has a decent slider, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't have a secondary pitch good enough that misses a lot of bats. He doesn't get you down 0-2 and you go, all right, watch this. He put him away. He'll get it down 0-2, foul ball, foul ball, foul ball, 2-2, foul ball,
yeah.
ground out. And if he gets a base hit there, you're like, oh shit, here we go. Now there's trouble. He's just not that type of guy. And again, saying that and stating that is nothing wrong because again, there is the proof behind it. It's proof behind it.
And some people on Twitter have said this is not a World Series caliber closer. This is not a guy you can trust in October. If you're really serious about making this World Series run, this is not the guy you can trust out there in a tight game on the road or whatever in a pressure-packed situation. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. And it's not wrong to criticize Clay Holmes based on his recent performance. Sure, earlier in the year when he had a 0.00 ERA and okay, then it's a little bit harder to criticize the guy because he's been locking down saves and his numbers are good. But it's all fair in baseball to criticize a guy when he's struggling. And over the course of his last 15 games, he's struggling. It's okay to say that. You can come up and you can say it, and you don't have to be afraid of the Excel spreadsheet boys coming out and trying to quote tweet you with some garbage stat that they pulled out of their ass to try to justify the fact that he's got a 5.27 ERA in his last 15. You don't have to be afraid to come out and say it. So is he the closer for this team? He is for now. Has he been good in the past? Yes. Do we have a replacement for closer? I don't think we do.
No.
And it's going to be an interesting trade deadline to see what kind of arms we can bring in here. Maybe someone steps up over time. Who knows? But I think this is going to be the guy going forward. And
it's going to be.
Aaron Boone is very confident and he's very defensive of him and he trusts him. So it's going to be one of those things where Clay's going to have to figure it out. He hasn't been good lately. Maybe it's just a slump. Maybe it's a little bit of a June kind of hiccup. Maybe he'll go back to finding it and it'll be lights out again. And we can all look back on this and say, "Ooh, man, I'm glad he fixed it," from when we were talking about how bad he was. But it's concerning, and it's okay to say you're concerned about it. And it is what it is. Hopefully he figures it out because we're going to need him down the stretch, especially in the playoffs. So fingers crossed.
Yep. No doubt about it. And that's a lot of times fans get mad at me because I say exactly what you just said. I said, look, I mean, who is the option? Do you see the Yankees cutting a Mason Miller deal out of nowhere? I personally don't.
No.
I mean, you can never say never. You can never say never. You don't know, but I don't think so. And out of everybody you're looking at, maybe a guy like Neely all of a sudden comes out of nowhere. But would the Yankees even then just say you're going to be the closer?
Tough. It'd be really tough to put a young guy in that position. Like closers are weird dudes. They are not afraid of the moment. They have intense personalities. Yep. Most of the time, they're a little weird. And the last 3 outs of the game are the hardest 3 outs to get of the whole game.
Facts.
So when you're in a hectic situation or a pressure packed situation in a close game, you got to have that closer come out and know that he's nails. He's bulletproof. Guy's not shaken by the moment. He's got the stuff to miss bats. He's going to overpower these guys.
Yep.
He comes in and the opposing lineup has to deal with him. This is his 9th inning. And you don't get that feel with Clay Holmes, whereas we've had it with other guys. So you have every right to be concerned about it. And yeah, there's just no other guy to insert into that role. I used to think that Ian Hamilton had the makeup to be that guy, and he
He let
just
me
hasn't
down.
proven to be that this season,
Yep.
which is unfortunate. And we can. This is the thing. As you watch the season, there are moments in time where things look a certain way, and you're allowed to say, "Hey, I thought Ian Hamilton was a great fit for the closer role." Now that we've seen him struggle over time and kind of give up a lot of hits and walk guys in key moments, now you can say, you know what? I don't think he has the makeup anymore. I thought he had the
Correct.
personality for it. I thought he had the stuff for it. I don't think he has that anymore. But I can also come out and say right now that Clay Holmes hasn't been good his last 15 games. So
Exactly.
it's a hard problem to solve. I think, unfortunately, our only way that this is going to change is if Clay fixes it, because there's just
no doubt.
solution.
No doubt. And we're rooting for that. You know what I mean? I don't want
Right.
anybody to misconstrue that. We're rooting for that.
You need him.
We need him. We
A
want to win
World
a
Series
chip.
caliber team needs a closer like that. You have to have
We
it.
want to win a chip. And look, I think there was I got to try to find it, but I remember when Clay Holmes was dominating, and there was a lot of people out there talking trash because a lot of us here on this very channel said that we don't believe that he scares us as the closer of the team. We never said he's a bad pitcher. We said he scares us as the Yankee closer. And I remember saying, let them celebrate now because it's a very long season and shit happens. There's going to be a time in this year where you're looking back and going, damn, I wonder who could close games because he's not looking great. And you knew that was coming. So that's why I tell everybody, I warn everybody, be careful about being braggadocious on comments or things that you've made in the past, because baseball's a long season and
Right.
it's very, very hard to predict. You could look at stuff in the offseason and goes, yeah, it's going to go that way. You look up and go, what the fuck happened?
Right.
What happened?
And
That's baseball for you.
What people tend to do is they'll pull up Clay Holmes' numbers and be like, bro, he's got a 2.3 ERA. Like, he's been good, bro. What are you talking about? We're talking about him recently not being good. We're not saying
Correct.
overall his season hasn't been good, because there was a time this season where he was lights out.
Yep.
We're talking right now. We don't have confidence in him right now in this
Yep.
window during the season. We don't know if this is going to be what he's going to be the rest of the way. We don't know if it's just a blip in the radar and he needs to find it and he's just in a little slump. Like you said, it's a long season. Pitchers go through slumps just like hitters do. Sometimes your stuff isn't good. Sometimes you lose a little confidence. Sometimes your arms are barking a little bit. We don't know why Clay has been struggling his last 15, but he's been struggling, and you can say it. And yeah, we hope he figures it out. But to come at people for having concern about Clay because you have some far-fetched number you pull out of your ass from some sabermetrics guy who's so far up your own ass that you can't have any type of what's the word here? Impartiality. I mean, there's a Clay Holmes bias out there for some reason. I don't know where it came from, but it's the criticism for Clay Holmes came from somewhere. This isn't just didn't get pulled out of thin air.
No,
He's
not at all.
Before. He's been wild before. He's blown saves before, and every closer's blown saves. But sometimes Clay comes in.
Now.
Yeah, but Clay comes in sometimes.
That's one of
and
the debates I got was that, well, Mariano blew saves too. I'm like, what?
Of course, every closer. No one's been perfect as a closer. Everyone blows saves, and no one's saying that because Clay has blown saves is a bad closer. No one's saying that. It's the way he's blown some saves before, being wild, hitting guys, throwing it to the backstop, bouncing in the dirt.
And it's the stretches, right? He does this in stretches typically.
Right.
So,
it was Miami last year. That was a big one. He had one in Colorado where I think CJ Cron hit a grand slam. Sometimes he drills guys in the shoulder. Sometimes he bounces it in the dirt. Sometimes he hits the backstop. That erraticness is why cardiac Clay became a thing.
Correct.
It's not like,
it wasn't created on just this moment out of nowhere.
And sure, some closers are a little wild. Some of them got really good stuff, and they come in there trying to throw a billion, and they're wild. Cool. But Clay is this Jekyll and Hyde kind of character where you don't know which version of the guy you're going to get, and that's why people call him cardiac Clay, and that's why people are concerned. And it's perfectly fine to be concerned about him in that aspect. So
it's the concern we had with Chapman too, if you remember. We were waiting to see what he looked like when he came.
He's a wild guy.
He's
wild.
First pitches all the way to the backstop. You go, oh shit, here we go.
Right, and
no control of the slider. That happens. That's a part of baseball. But you know, again, like Johnny said, man, all we're saying here is that you are allowed to have legitimate concern when he comes in a game. If it's a 1-run lead against a good team, again, he comes to close the game against the Baltimore Orioles. I'll ask the chat. 1's if you're concerned, 2 if you're not concerned whatsoever. It's a 2-run game against the Baltimore Orioles in the 9th inning. Are you concerned? Are you concerned? 1 for yes, 2 for no. We'll see what the chat says.
Yeah.
But
as of right now, I am.
Yeah, you
It's
got
just-
to be.
it's what
I'm
it
going to
is.
get to the next voicemail. We got a lot of ones already.
Hey, Pete, again, truth always. My brother, I also want to tell you, man, thank you. Thank you for coming up with the idea, the Yankee Channel, the NYYU.
My brother.
Brother, I want to tell you, yeah, we all call about the Yankees. It's a good Yankee family. It's great. But I want to tell you, props to you and your family and everybody who came up with this idea for us to have our opinions and share our opinions with everyone about the Yankees. Because this is the realest Yankee channel.
That's why it's
By
the best
far.
channel in the game.
Ain't no one better.
Easy.
Number one,
Best channel in the game.
NYYU. Peace in Jesus'
Truth
name.
always. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. And by the way, as we let that voicemail play, Johnny, there was not 1, 2 in the chat. It's all ones.
I see a
There's not
1.5.
one outlier.
I see a
There's
1.5.
But you know what? He's a Rangers fan. So you know what he's saying there? If he comes in against the Rangers, we probably got a chance of winning. So I'm all right with that.
Yeah,
so
of
I don't
course.
blame him. I don't blame him.
Earlier in the season, did I have more confidence in Clay? Yes.
Yeah, of course.
With the way he's looked in his last 15, no. And it's okay to kind of have a change of heart towards a player, especially a player that important, locking down at the end of the games. It's totally fine to have some concern about that. And it is what it is. And I'm not going to hear any differently. I don't care who comes at me, whatever. But real quick, Michael Tonkin, since he's been a Yankee, 17 games, 23 innings pitched, he has a 0.77 ERA. Holy shit.
That is fucking stupid, bro.
Holy shit. And his role.
Where's the comps to Mo?
Oh, God.
Does he get one?
It's coming. Yeah. Excel spreadsheet boys are going to fucking call. He's going to be the next Trevor Hoffman, Mario Rivera.
Bro, it's only fair. It's only fair. I want a Michael Tonkin comp. Show the guy some love. Put some respect on his damn name. Yeah,
next time a position player goes out to pitch, they're gonna pull out a fucking projection of his expected ERA and his fucking he's on pace for a 0.00 ERA if he continues to pitch like this the rest of his career. Like, shut the fuck up. Hey, big props to Michael Tonkin.
Facts.
Guy his role has evolved from a mop-up guy to now he's getting innings in high leverage situations. The evolution of him since he's gotten here has been fantastic. So big props to him. But yeah, overall, hopefully Clay figures it out. We're going to need him down the stretch, especially in close games against the Orioles. So fingers crossed.
No doubt. Let's get to the next voicemail here.
Good morning, Pete. Good morning to your fabulous fiance, Jira.
Thank you.
Greatest hardworking couple, dynamic duo.
That's facts. It's facts.
That's how you hear is all of us. Everything about Aaron Judge. Thank God he is okay. We'll see how the hand feels today. You're going to have to sit on him to not be in that lineup tonight, and that's what makes Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge.
Yep.
But the law firm of Judge and Soto is in session, and thank God that is a reality because we need those guys to get to the promised land. And a little accolades to Mr. Alex Verdugo. All right? Having Judges back, you're going to mess around.
Oh, yeah.
Do some messing around. You take care of that guy, and then he'll take care of another guy. But that's having your teammates back, and that is what this team is all about. Can't stress enough the difference of that team. So I'll be at the game tonight. I want to have Cole shoving, and let's go, man. Let's get it on. Let's go! Let's do it, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Uncle Dom, my guy, you always bringing that fire, fam. You always bringing that fire. We did have a super chat from Jimmy DeCaro. Jimmy, I'm sorry I missed it there for a second, but he said, thoughts on Ben Rice? We talked about that already. Thought he did well. Do we think DJ is ever going to hit again? Lastly, is there anyone from AAA you see coming up soon? Well, now you got Neely and you got a Goose down there, so that's a possibility. We both liked what we saw from Ben Rice. Obviously, he needs time to keep working at the position of first base, but he's a lefty bat, had pretty solid ABs yesterday. Not overly concerned about him. I hope he just gets a lot of time while Rizzo's out, and maybe he's a replacement next year. Who knows? Let's give him some time to play baseball.
You never know.
You never know. Let's get into the next. Johnny, you still got about you got a few minutes still?
Yeah, we're good.
You good? All right, perfect. Let's get to the next voicemail.
Good morning, PD and Gabagoo.
Oh, boy.
It's your boy, Kev Boogie calling in. And first and foremost, I want to thank God. Thank God for life. thank God for Aaron Judge being okay. And
Facts.
thank God for Gerrit Cole being back on the mound today for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Because I know everybody was nervous. I was nervous. And I'm just glad to know that there's no fracture, no broken bones, prayerfully no bruise. And Judge seemed like he out for blood because he want to be in there today. And I hope that he is and that there's no ill effects from what transpired yesterday. And, I mean, I'm just excited. Cole is back. The rotation seems like they kind of been a little lately. You know, Nestor, 2 straight good starts. Hopefully he continues that. But having our ace back is going to be huge. And if we could somehow fix the bullpen and get another solid piece on that infield to go along with Volpe and, you know, maybe Glaber could somehow have a great second half, we looking good, man. I'm just praying that this team can stay healthy. I don't like the amount of injuries that have been transpiring lately, but what can you do? It's baseball. I just pray that this team continues to do their thing and they stick together and they got to win this division. And that starts by beating the Orioles today and tomorrow. We got a great chance to do it. Cole on the mound today. Our second best pitcher, Luis Hill, on the mound tomorrow. So let's get it done. Go Yankees.
Appreciate you, Kev Boogie. No doubt about it. You're spot on with all you said. Jimmy DeCara with a super chat. This one is for you, Johnny.
Uh-oh.
Johnny, what park was your favorite out of all the parks you recently visited? Love your Twitter account, by the way. Has great insight. Go Yanks.
Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate that. That's tough, man. I had seen San Fran.
Is it Oracle?
It's right. I like San Fran because I don't know. It's just the vibe there feels good. You got the water in the distance. I like the ballpark. I like the layout. The food's good. Everything's good. PNC was really nice though. I gotta say.
I want to go there so bad. Man.
It was. I didn't imagine Pittsburgh to be a place that was so green. Like there's trees and stuff everywhere. You got the big yellow bridges and the water running through. It's just a really nice scene. It was really cool to see Fenway too. I gotta say, I hate the Red Sox, but it was kind of surreal to see it in person after you just see it on TV for so many years, and the history and how unique the ballpark is. You can kind of appreciate that place. But I think San Fran is still my number one. PNC is a very close number two, and then after that, it's kind of a toss-up between San Diego, maybe Fenway, a couple other ones, but San Fran and PNC are definitely my top for sure.
I gotta ask you a question before we get to another voicemail. I gotta ask you about Fenway. So the game when they get 9 stolen bags, and the Yankees just suck ass that day. What was that environment like for you over there?
It sucked.
I'm sure you heard shit. You had to hear shit.
Honestly, I gotta say, not a ton of shit talking from Red Sox fans.
Oh wow, interesting.
Really, there really wasn't.
So there's more on Twitter, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, some people would turn around and give you a little elbow, kind of thing, but there really wasn't the in your face shit talk that I was expecting.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes there were some young kids walking by that would suck, Yankees suck, fuck the Yankees, blah blah. What I mean, you get that everywhere, but
of course.
Yeah, the Red Sox fans weren't that bad. They really weren't that bad. It was just so irritating to sit there and watch them run on Trevino all day long. Some of the pitchers were a little slow to the plate too, so it was a little bit of both. But just rough sitting there, and then they singing "Sweet Caroline," stupid ass song, and doing all the Boston shit that they do. So it was fun to see the park, fun environment with all the people there, but not fun to be there while they're taking an L. So not good. But overall pretty fun.
Facts. Let's get to the next voicemail here.
Hey, yo, Joey Bag of Donuts.
Over here.
Hey, how's everybody doing, Pete? How you doing, chat? How we doing? I just wanted to jump on real quick and speak my mind about last night's game. As much as it sucks, I mean, I'm going to be on the opposite side here. I don't see any ill intent in either one of those hit by pitches. I mean,
we agree.
Count on Judge. You can hit him. I believe he was setting up for a down and away slider, and he just missed the location. And the same thing with Glaber. You don't hit a guy with the bases loaded to lead off an inning. But at the same time, fuck the Baltimore fans that are running their mouths saying that Soto's play was dirty, because there's absolutely no dirtiness to that play.
Idiots.
They don't know ball. They're casuals.
That's all I got today. But, just fuck the Baltimore fans. I don't think anything happens today. I've heard a bunch of shit on Twitter. Oh, Cole's gonna hit him, blah, blah, blah. I don't see it happening. But if they hit another guy today, all bets are off, baby. Let's go Yankees. Have a great day, everybody.
Yep.
We'll see you.
Yeah, man, no doubt about it. Now, look, I am not, again, I just want to clarify, I'm not advocating for anybody to be hit, but it would not shock me if Cole does a little brush back. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, totally fine.
Totally
Here's
fine
what it
with
is.
that.
That's baseball.
We got 12 voicemails still here. We're gonna get to 2 more guys that we're gonna wrap up. Let's get to the next 2. Here we go.
What up,
Steelio.
Simonetti and Johnny Bravo? It is the one and only friendly neighborhood DJ Steelio with the book calling in again. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, yo, guys, how you doing, man? Happy Wednesday.
How you doing over here? How you doing?
Good news with Aaron Judge not breaking his hand. It could have been a lot worse, especially with it being a similar injury to what Mookie Betts had. It could have been a lot worse. So it's just thank goodness that everything is all right. It could have definitely been a lot worse. I would love to see I would love to see Judge back in the lineup tonight, mainly because of Cole. These two are the top guys of the Yankees. They're the faces of the Yankees. And for Cole to come back, the first game back of 2024, and for Judge to be out, how ironic, well, not ironic, how fucked up would that be?
Facts.
I just want to see Judge in the lineup just because of Cole being back in the starting rotation tonight. Yeah, guys, I want to hear your thoughts on that. Before I go, let me hit you guys with a little jokey joke because I know you guys love my
bring it out, break it out,
everybody
break
in
it
the
out.
chat loves them too.
Johnny loves it.
Why did the turkey cross the road? To prove he wasn't a chicken. Gotta go, please.
I feel like that's very low level for you, Steels. I feel like you got something better than that, bro. To me, that just feels very, very low level. That's like something you're telling in first grade, bro. It's first grade joke, Steels.
Maybe he's towards the end of the book. He might be towards the end of the book. Who knows?
Who knows what chapter he was on, but my man Alex and this man stinks. All right, we're gonna get to he's getting booed out of the chat, the poor guy. He's getting heckled in here.
Throw tomatoes at him.
Throwing tomatoes at the damn guy. Put the tomatoes in the chat, folks. Let's get to the last voicemail here.
There
Put
they
tomatoes
go.
in. There it is. There it is. Jiro was quick on that one. Let's get to the next one.
Hey, what's going on, Pete Johnny? It's Fast Eddie.
Fast Eddie.
I just want to say, I don't think the Orioles pitchers were hitting our guys on purpose.
Agreed.
But if we get hit again today, I don't even care if it's labor. I mean, if they hit any one of our Yankees today, I put 100 mile an hour right in Ashley Rusherman's fucking head. You can't have this going on, man. I mean, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt last night, but we get hit again today. That's the end of it. You gotta do something in response. So I just hope we beat their asses, all three. All right, boys. You have a good day. Take care. Bye.
All right, Fast
Take
Eddie.
care, my
hope
guy.
all is well. Yeah, I hope all is well, my friend. Hope you're doing good. But yeah, man, the Orioles don't want to hit somebody today. I don't know. I saw somebody on Twitter saying maybe they go after Alex Verdugo today because the lip reading brigade was out, and they're like, oh, he said he's gonna fuck somebody up. Guys, don't worry about it. They say a lot worse.
There was a comment.
They say a lot worse.
There was something I saw on Twitter about how he's boys with Mountcastle or something, and that was all just them kind of messing around. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. If he did say it and he was out there being bold, I love it. I love that kind of energy. So
me too. Why not?
It's all fun.
Yankees need more of it. We always say we've been calling for that for years.
Yep.
That they need more of that. Now they have it. I'm happy with it. But guys, that is going to wrap up today's show. We've had almost 300 people in here the entire time today. So thank you guys so much.
Excellent turnout.
Smack that like, hit that sub. Every damn show here at NYYU, guys, is growing like crazy. You guys already know about the way we're growing. We are literally, what is it now? Less than 1,600 subs away from 30,000. So we are closing in on that number extremely quick. My prediction is we hit that number before All-Star break. maybe even sooner than expected. So the way
To the
we're
moon,
growing
baby.
has been amazing. It's all shout out to each and every one of you guys that are in the chat today. But last thing, let's pop this on the screen really quickly. This is the matchup. Where the hell did my stuff go here? Here we go. So this is the matchup for today. Cade Pavich on the mound, a lefty. I know the Oriole fans I speak to are not big on this dude at all. They're not big on Cade Pavich. Going against, of course, Gerrit Cole. Yankees have never faced Pavich before. Of course, the Orioles are familiar with Gerrit Cole. So again, let's hope it is a solid performance tonight for the Yankees. The best thing you can do against the Baltimore Orioles is beat this team, hopefully sweep them. But we win today, right? We got the sweep on the mend with Hill, so let's get that.
Yeah, having Cole and Hill back to back is really nice. Hopefully, later down the season, Hill is still going. We don't know if he's going to have an innings limit or whatever. But this is a little bit of a look into what a potential Cole Hill playoff rotation could look like. So, of course, Cole is not 1,000% back, first start back after being hurt. So this is not an apples to apples comparison, but it's a little bit of a little hint there. So look into the future potentially. So very exciting to have these two lined up back to back to end this series.
No doubt about it. So guys, until next time, we appreciate you tuning in. Catch you guys later tonight for Game Season Live, followed by Post Game. Peace, baby. See you guys next time.
It's heavy. Famous love. Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself in check. They don't hear me, they don't hear me though. Cycles going round and round and round like a merry-go. Stand for truth. Fall for any old scenario. That's why I keep my circle smaller than a Cheerio. Cause this the company you keep. Stay woke, please don't get caught sleep. End up sowing what you reap. Know your worth and don't sell cheap. The ghost is inside of me, can't take it out of me. No matter where I've been,